open up back there in the park ready to go. And then we roll into May where we have our native.
Are you ready for some random facts?
I am.
Hello, everybody. This is David Hopewell with State Farm Insurance. Welcome to Random Facts with Radio Rick.
All right, Autumn, the entire U.S. interstate highway system cost $114 billion to construct, or around $660 billion in today's dollars. It contains nearly 50,000 miles of roads, and 93% of them are toll-free.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Honeybees can tell time and can experience jet lag.
I've never heard that, but I believe it.
Yeah, I've never seen any honeybees on an airplane. There's a one-lane bowling alley in the White House basement, which was added by Richard Nixon in 1973. There was another two-lane bowling alley in the West Wing built for President Truman, but it's been moved to the Executive Office building, which is also in the White House compound. So
I wonder if they used it.
I don't know. They got 3 bowling lanes. It would take a sloth roughly 6.6 hours to travel a mile.
Wow.
And even though Stephen King came up with the idea for The Shining in Hotel Estes Park, Colorado, the 1980 Stanley Kubrick movie was based in Colorado. The exterior shots of the Overlook Hotel in the movie were actually of the historic Timberline Lodge in Oregon below Mount Hood. Yeah. It's always interesting talking to Autumn Morrison at the Old Fort Herod, and we'll do it again next Monday. How about that?
Sounds good. I'll talk to you then.
All right. Take care. Have a good Easter egg hunt.
You too. I'll see ya.
All right. Bye-bye. Autumn Morrison, Old Fort Herod. We got Kim King coming up right after this.
Hi, Don here, your small business marketing expert. Are you running a business and want to generate more store traffic or build a bigger client base? Did you know that radio is the call to action medium? Radio allows you to target consumers you want to reach for the right price. Also, radio is everywhere. Radio is the only media to reach people at home cooking dinner, at work, and at play. You might say we get around. And most important, reaches customers in car when they're driving to stores, restaurants, and shopping. Also, radio is less expensive than any other major media, allowing advertisers to afford maximum reach and frequency. In other words, you can run multiple ads with increased repetition, getting better results for less money. So, are you ready to find out more? Call us today.
Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to advertisecentralkentucky.com. That's advertisecentralkentucky.com.
Good morning, State Representative King.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. There's that sweet girl. How is Miss Sophie and Poppy, a.k.a. Radio Rick, this morning?
Oh, hanging in there. We had an interesting little power surge. Lost power here for a little bit, and we got it back.
Oh, well, that may explain. I was able to listen early this morning, and then I thought it was my phone, but I lost you all for a little bit.
Yep.
So maybe I'll try again when we hang up. I'll see if I can finish out the show with you all listening in. Well, it has been a busy session. As I mentioned on Friday, from calling from the House floor, I would be able to get into a few bills in more depth on Monday, so I'm prepared to do that. I also wanted to mention we are in what's called the concurrence and conference session, part of our session. That means, and all of this works in reverse as well, but I'll just talk about it from the House perspective. During concurrence, we look at the changes the Senate makes to House bills, and then we either agree or don't agree with the Senate changes. If we don't agree, depending on the jurisdiction, whether it's education-related, transportation, health-related, the chair of that committee, some members from leadership, and others that are experts in that area all come together with that same group from the Senate, and they kind of hash it out and come to a compromise. So today I will be reading I've got paper stacked everywhere here as usual on a Monday morning. The Senate changes to the House bills that we will take up tomorrow and Wednesday. But I looked online, and this will change probably as soon as we hang up at 9 o'clock. But the governor is starting to have 10 days to either sign a bill into law, veto a bill, or let a bill become law without his signature. So I looked online, and we currently have 48 bills that have passed both chambers and are in the governor's possession. He has issued 3 vetoes. We have overturned 2 so far. We just haven't been on the floor to consider the third. 2 bills became law without his signature, and 7 bills became law with his signature. So again, we're in the concurrence. That's where each chamber considers if they will agree with the opposite chamber's changes, and if not, they go into conference. So still a lot of work going on. But here are just a few bills I think you and your listeners may be interested in. Just picked a handful. House Bill 643, this will establish the framework so teachers and staff can wear a silent panic alert button. So if something happens, and it doesn't have to always be a crime, it could be a medical issue with a student or in an adult or a visitor for that matter. If something happens where they need help, they can push a button, an alarm doesn't sound audibly, but it will contact the correct people. So I think that's very good. The Kentucky Center for School Safety will pay half for that, and then we'll keep plugging in more money as it's available. Kind of along those same lines, House Bill 652. This will, if you've been in probably any public building, but especially school buildings, if you will notice, the doors and the windows usually have a letter and a number, and that is to help emergency personnel be able to locate a specific area of that building in case of an emergency. So 652 would put all of that consolidated together and put it under the 911 Services Board, which, of course, if an emergency call comes in, that's where it will go. House Bill 689, I had the pleasure, I've had a lot of visitors over the session, but 2 administrators from Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, and they were telling me about 689, House Bill 689. At that point, it was earlier in the session. It hadn't come to my desk yet, but then it did, and I voted yes on it, and it did pass the House. So this would make some of our more rural hospitals available to draw down an additional pot of federal money without using any of their state funds. So according to the administrators that visited with me, this could be about $29 million per year, not just for a single hospital, but the pot of money that could be available for eligible hospitals. So that has passed the House. I can't even believe this next one had to be put into law, but sometimes you run across that. House Bill 778 would say that a child can't be put into foster care or adoptive care in a household where there is a registered sex offender living there. Again, I can't believe we even have to say that, but I guess we did. House Bill 601, when we talked about this on the floor, they talked about this happens for some reason, usually to churches. And so if a state road has an improvement, an exit lane, something that improves that, the state can't charge the property owners that benefit from that turning lane, exit lane, more just because they put in a road. And the examples they gave were mostly churches. I guess they're out in the rural area, and if a road is improved, that property had been increasing in value, and so we're putting a stop to that. House Bill 826, you know, I love GEDs and trying to get our adults to either continue their education at what might be considered the high school level, or absolutely keeping on continuing in their education. But 826 would make sure that any state funds that go into adult education go into the classroom and to help benefit those students, and also mandate paper testing. You know, a lot of people mine and your age, Radio Rick, we kind of like a paper and pencil. That's how I still read bills, the vast majority of them. I like a hard copy that I can mark up and flag and refer back to. An online of people ready to put this into place. Actually, one within the 55th district is going to be a vendor for this. So if a homeowner wants to put in a safe room for weather, they can get a $5,000 rebate on that. Now, there are a few stipulations. If you live in a neighborhood or have close neighbors, you have to be willing to open that safe room up for 8 to 10 area neighborhood folks to come into that safe space with you. But a really good idea for us, since we've had so many bad weather events, it seems like, over the last few years. But again, we go in tomorrow and Wednesday, all day today. I'll be reading Senate changes to House bills, and Lord willing, I will be back home because we will be in the veto days to call you about 8:50 Friday morning from the King's table, not the House floor. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Kim King, State Rep. You heard it right here on WHBN Harrodsburg, The Rooster, your community voice, and proud of it since 1955, FM 99.5, AM 1420, World Wide Web at hometownlive.net. It's 9 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump says the U.S. is still negotiating with Iran as the war enters week 5. While speaking to reporters on board Air Force One Sunday, Trump said he does potentially see a deal coming through with the country, although he failed to get into a specific timetable. President Trump says he'd like to take Iran's oil as the war enters its 5th week. More from Mark Mayfield.
Trump told the Financial Times that taking the oil would be his preference, but that stupid people in the U.S. are questioning why he would do that. It comes as his administration is reportedly looking at possibly using ground troops in the region. Trump said that negotiations continue to go well with Iran, but you never know with Iran because we negotiate with them, then we always have to blow them up. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Houthi rebels in Yemen are fighting on Iran's side, launching missiles at Israel over the weekend. A military spokesperson for the Houthis announced Saturday's attack on their satellite TV station and said the rebels fired a barrage of ballistic missiles targeting what he called sensitive military sites in southern Israel. President Trump says he's okay with allowing a Russian oil tanker to deliver relief to Cuba. More from Tammy Trujillo.
As he put it, they have to survive.
It's a failing country, and they're going to be next. Within a short period of time, it's going to fail. And we will be there to help it out.
The island's been hit by a number of countrywide blackouts recently after being effectively blocked from receiving oil shipments since January. The president told reporters aboard Air Force One on his way back to Washington that he doesn't care where the boatload of oil is coming from, even if it's from Russia. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Pope Leo said God doesn't listen to warmongers during his Palm Sunday homily.
Questo è il nostro Dio.
The first U.S.-born pope said that God does not listen to the prayers of those who wage war, but rejects them. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call us for free information at 1-800-577-2648. That's 1-800-577-2648. Again, 1-800-577-2648.
The FBI is investigating a fake bomb threat made on board a Frontier Airlines flight arriving in Atlanta. The plane, which took off in Columbus, Ohio, had just landed at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport Sunday when a passenger allegedly made the verbal threat. The plane was moved to a remote location and passengers and crew were taken off safely. The FBI later said the threat was not credible and investigators had not yet announced whether charges would be filed. A Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy has died during the annual Baker to Vegas relay race. More from Jason Nathanson.
The deputy had a medical emergency of some kind during the race and couldn't be saved. That according to a statement from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Sunday morning. They extend their heartfelt condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of the 13-year department veteran who worked in San Dimas. Baker to Vegas is an annual event where over 10,000 law enforcement officers from around the world run a relay 120 miles from Baker, California to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Multiple peeled garlic products are being recalled by the Food and Drug Administration. More from Lisa Carton.
Tops Friendly Markets issued a recall on Friday for Garland fresh peeled garlic due to improper cooling during transport. Customers are advised to return the peeled garlic with proof of purchase for a full refund. The chain warned in the announcement that eating the recalled garlic may cause health problems or death. Tops also recalled Christopher Ranch peeled garlic due to improper storage.
Formula One history has been made at the Japanese Grand Prix. Rob Martier reports.
Italian Kimi Antonelli has become the youngest points leader in Formula One history. The 19-year-old leads the driver's standings with 72 points, overtaking fellow Mercedes driver George Russell following a win at the Japanese Grand Prix. No champagne for Antonelli atop the podium. Japan's legal drinking age is 20. The young Italian broke a record set by Lewis Hamilton in 2007 when the then 22-year-old led the world championship in his rookie season.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. A wildland fire in Boyle County spread to nearly 300 acres. It happened Thursday in the Parksville Knob area when first responders were called in for a reported grass fire. When they got there, they found an active fire involving grass, a nearby woodlot, and an outbuilding. The fire, aided by the windy conditions that day, continued to spread, and Boyle County fire officials requested countywide mutual aid and additional assistance. Crews began to work aggressively to contain that fire, with the Division of Forestry even being deployed with bulldozers to establish fire lines and prevent further spread. Boyle Fire says those efforts were instrumental in bringing that fire under control. No injuries were reported while fighting that blaze. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet will host a public information meeting tomorrow about a proposed new route to connect Kentucky 34 and US 150. Preliminary maps show the road potentially coming off of Ghost Pike and connecting somewhere on 34 near the Lexington Road Laser Wash. That meeting is a public information meeting and will be come and go as you please, with an opportunity to discuss the proposed plans with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. It's tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the evening at the Intercounty Energy Community Room on Houstonville Road. Annie from Dow Regional Medical Center has been recognized for the high-quality care it gives its patients by receiving the 2026 Kentucky Hospital Association Quality Award. I'm Joe Mathis.
Danville's Deal Maker, Bob Allen.
New Jeeps cost less at Bob Allen Motor Mall. During the Declaration of Deals sales event, lease a new Jeep Wrangler Willys for only $247 per month for 39 months. $54.61 plus first payment, fees, and taxes due at signing. 7,500 lease miles per year. Stock C 26133. Bob Allen Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com.
Hey everybody, this is Derek Gray with the Mercer County Tourist Commission, and we are excited for our new app, Visit Mercer County KY. Head on over to the App Store, type in Visit Mercer County KY. You should see the new city logo with the navy background and the white H. Home screen here has attractions, food and drink, lodging, to-do, events, my plan, login, notifications, and tutorials. We are excited about the app, and whether you're a local or a visitor, we hope this enhances your experience when you come to Mercer County.
This WHBN weather forecast is brought to you by Ransdell Funeral Chapel. Our goal is and always will be to provide the best value in funeral service available. Exceptional care from a trusted family name, Ransdell Funeral Chapel.
Thank you, Sonny. It's going to be mostly sunny Ransdell today. High of 74, wind gust to 31. Hang on to your hat and your hair if you got it. Dan, the man, and I don't have to worry about that. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 62, wind gust to 21. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high of 81, wind gust to 29. You know that's going to be blowing in a front. Tuesday night, here it comes. Chance of showers between 2 and 5. Then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 5 a.m. Partly cloudy with a low of 64, wind gust to 23. Chance of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, then showers and a possible thunderstorm after 8 a.m. High of 78. Thursday, chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2. Partly sunny, high of 81. Showers likely Friday, possibly a thunderstorm before 2, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2, mostly cloudy, high of 78. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Saturday, partly sunny, high of 77. Guess what for Sunday? Chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny, high of 61. Right now, under mostly cloudy skies, we have 60 degrees in Harrodsburg at 9:08.5. Good Monday morning to you. It's the 30th day of March. Radio Rick, glad to be along with you. Thanking you so much for making us a part of your Monday morning on WHBN, AM and FM, and HometownLive.net. Birthdays, anniversaries, road situations going on in Harrodsburg, Mercer County, Bergen. And we will not do any song requests because we have 2 guests. We have one now, one coming up at 9:30. So the phone number, 859-734-4321, 734-4321. That's the number to use if you want to register yourself or someone else to win the DQ ice cream cake we're giving away Friday morning before 10 o'clock. Courtesy of Barbara Montgomery, DQ Grill and Chill. For those having a birthday or anniversary between March 28th and April 3rd, we have Sherry Clonch and Carol Conover registered to win the DQ ice cream cake right now. Birthdays, we have Elaine Hamlin Harris, Greg Caudle, Jared Borders, Roger Bowling, Tanisha Johnson, Dylan Brown, Christopher Snyder, Connor Blevins, Sherry Clonch.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from Martina McBride. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Martina, for stopping by to sing happy birthday to Sherry, Connor, Christopher, Dylan, Tanisha, Roger, Jared, Greg, and Elaine. All right, my guest is Dan the Man Hitchcock from Intercounty Energy. And Dan, did you know today is Doctor's Day?
Oh.
It's also
not.
It's also, and this is my yard, the grass is always browner on the other side of the fence. I got some brown spots in my yard.
A little two-tone going on right now myself.
Yeah. Pencil Day. I wonder if it's number 2, because that's the way I always tell us when we have to fill stuff in. Got to have a number 2 pencil. Virtual Vacation Day. You ever taken a virtual vacation?
That's weird.
Yeah. World Bipolar Day. Or neither one of those. Take a Walk in the Park Day. You've ever done that?
No. Well, it had been a while since I walked in the park.
Yeah, me too.
Virtually?
No, this is a real taking a walk. No, you don't have to do that virtually. I'm in Control Day. Dan the Man is always in control. Nope. And Turkey Neck Soup Day.
Nope.
Have you ever heard of turkey neck soup?
No.
I haven't either. Celebrate those accordingly. Couple life hacks and a positive thought, Dan. Psychologists say that when you're meeting someone for the first time, you have only about 7 seconds to make a powerful first impression, so make it count. One of the best ways to cut down on your yearly CO2 emission is to eat less meat. Meat eaters emit roughly 3 tons of CO2 in the air, while vegetarians emit only 1.6 tons. All vegan diet emits 1 ton of CO2. I don't know who comes up with those. Here's your positive thought. Dan, do the opposite of what you normally do today. And tea instead of coffee, cardio instead of weights. Change up your habits and routine. You never know where it might lead you.
Maybe not on the right path.
Well, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what, we were on the right path till about 8:30, and then all of a sudden we had a power outage out here. And wouldn't you know, the very first commercial I played when I got everything back on the air here was about Intercounty Energy. And watch out for storms. You might have power outages. And doggone if we didn't. What timing.
Always sending positive vibes back.
Yeah, really. Well, Dan Hitchcock, Intercounty Energy. Tell everybody how long you've been with them and what you do there.
I've been totally in the electrical industry 32 years. Moved from Paintsville area. Spent 9.5 years there at a co-op in Paintsville. And I've been here since 2003. Do communications. Do this work here with the radio stations, key accounts, just a little bit of everything across the board. Chamber of Commerce. I'll be in Marion County, where we serve 13 counties.
Ooh.
Then, I may be in Marion County tomorrow. I may be in Casey County next day. Just a matter where I'm at.
Man on the move.
Man on the move.
Yes. Well, Dan, the reason you're here is what we just hit on. Power outages could hit us with April because April is like, what do they call it, National Storm Awareness Month or something like that?
Yeah, that's, if you remember back in, 74, 75, something like that, that big tornado outbreak was about the first, like April 3rd, April 4th or something like that.
I remember that.
I remember that too. I was in grade school. I think it was first grade, something back then. But, yeah, it's just being prepared, and there's pre-preparation,
okay,
and there's preparation,
okay,
and then post-preparation or post fallout, I guess you could say, if you don't.
Right. Well, let's take them in order. Let's talk about the pre-preparation. What steps? What do we need to think about, Dan, as we head into and look at these winds already? That 31 today, 21 tonight, 29 tomorrow, tomorrow night 23. So. We're getting into some suspicious wind. Why is it? It seems like we always get a lot of wind when it's dark and you can't see what's coming. I hate that.
I know it. I hate to be outside too, especially if you have to go out to the car or maybe go down to behind the house or something, because you never know with all these winds what's going to be flying around during the night.
Yeah.
So you really have to pay attention during the day as well. Another thing that we don't, if you give a big gust and you're opening your car door, you got to watch which way your car door, because it may slam into another one.
Yep.
But for us, you just want to be aware of your surroundings. I think that's the biggest thing. As we've talked about before with winter outages, summer outages, really along the same lines. Have food, have water, have a manual can opener. Just like your power went out this morning, you all had a generator.
Yeah.
Have some kind of plan that you can communicate with your family too during when all this stuff happens.
To expound just a second on what you're talking about, that wind, you get out of the car, be careful, because that door could shut on your leg or your ankle, and that would be smart, because I've had that do that. You get out and that wind catches your car, especially when you got a smaller little light car. Really be careful and be weather aware. And again, that's why we give the weather forecast so often. During the morning, and then we do it at least a couple times every hour again, is just to alert people to be careful and be watching.
And we try to put it, especially if there's a storm coming, if they tornadoes, thunderstorms, then on our Facebook page, we will put stuff out ahead of time. Storm preparedness, be ready, have this, have that. And then when it hits, then we'll do outage updates on our website as far as that goes too. Website, we'll do it Facebook, we'll do it Instagram sometimes. That way we want people to be aware, be prepared. One thing I encountered years ago during a summer storm when I was working in eastern Kentucky was that the power had went out in this lady's house, and they had been cooking. Well, one thing I learned then, and they did too, is when the power goes out, make sure if you've got something on the stove, remove it and turn the stove off. Because if you go somewhere or you go take a nap and the power comes back on, and you're not aware of it, if you leave, then it could cause, devastation and damage to the house. So that's just one thing, just, just a little common sense through things like that right there.
Your air conditioner unit, turn it off, because sometimes the power comes back on. You might get we call it like a brown outage or something, and power comes on just a little bit. That could be a very dangerous thing. So if the power goes out, go ahead and just switch off your air conditioning at that point. You can leave a light on or something if you want to, so you'll know when the power comes back on. And then I think it's safe to go ahead and turn your air conditioning or the heat, depending on what part of the season.
Yes.
Turn it on after. Don't let that, because I could think if everybody's all came on at one time, that could be.
Well, yeah, especially if you have 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people coming back on. Everybody's got air conditioners coming back on.
Yeah, at the same time.
Right. That's someone you want to be aware of how you can help not prolong the outage, but kind of be in that pre-say, hey, we're going to turn it off. Here's the way it is. And turn off everything that you really don't need at that point. If you can remember what you had on. I think that's a big thing, too.
Yeah.
Is kind of keep, when the storm hits, what are we going to have on? Are we going to have that? Are we going to have access to our generator? Because if you have it in a garage, a detached garage that requires power to raise the door up, and you don't have access to that door, to be able to raise it up, then how are you going to work? Kind of things like that.
Make sure with the wind, and when it gets up, that your loose items in the yard, make sure that you kind of corral them somehow or another, because they could end up in a neighbor's yard, or worse case scenario, could end up in a street. Somebody comes around the blind corner and boom, in the middle of the road's somebody's lawn chair or whatever. You mentioned lawn chairs. You mentioned, if you've got back decks, and those back decks probably may have umbrellas. Mm-hmm.
Make sure those umbrellas are folded down and taken out.
And tied down.
Down, because we had one several years ago on our back deck at home. And when the wind hit it, it took it out of it wasn't secured. It took it out of the stand where it was and took it over the house into the front yard. So you just want to make sure that and it doesn't get hung up in electric lines.
Right.
Because that could cause outages that way.
Yeah.
And if it does, then all you got to do is call the power company, call Intercounty
Yes.
to come remove it. Don't try to remove it.
And don't, if you see a downed line, do not, and drill this into your kids, do not drive over it with your bikes. Do not try to get a stick to move it. Don't touch it. Call right away. Call the power company. Call the fire department. Somebody. Let them know.
Fire department, 911,
whoever,
do something.
Let them know there's a line down, especially if it's a hot wire, because you just can't. It's not worth.
You don't want to take that chance on injury or something else that could happen from that. But just be aware of your surroundings when you're outside. Make sure stuff is secured. Make sure if a tree falls, do not try to go on a line. Do not try to go remove it. Stay where you're at and call officials. Call Intercounty Energy. Call KU. Doesn't matter who it is, but just make them aware of it.
I'll never forget, Dan. There's 3 or 4 of us that had gone to eat at the radio station. I was their silver van way back then, and this was before they changed up Brook Cove the way it is now, the way it looks, and the water was really rolling, heavy going across there. And it used to be worse than it is now. They've got it where it's better now, better to distribute the water. As you can still watch Streamland, oh boy, that can get flooded easy too. But we had stopped, and I slid the door. I was in the back, the sliding door open. That water was almost up the bottom of the door, and I said, Brian, turn around. Don't try and drive through this thing, because we were watching the current, that water, that can take a hold of your car and poof.
Well, they say turn around, don't drown.
Yes.
So,
that we did. We turned around.
Turned around.
But I told him, I slid the door up. I said, "Oh, no, don't attempt this. This is not a good thing."
No, you shouldn't. Just real quick.
Yes, please.
Just a convenience checklist. Stock up on batteries. Have a portable battery-operated radio, just in case your power goes out and you can't leave to go have power somewhere.
Or they've got these crank ones that you can use too, and they got crank radios and crank lights.
Yep.
So those are available too.
Take inventory of the items that you rely on electricity. Have flashlights, extra batteries. Keep mobile phones charged up. Keep your gas tanks full, because if you know a storm's coming, don't wait until the storm hits, because you may be in an area where the gas stations may not have power and they may not be able to operate. Weather's a leading cause of power outages in the U.S. Sign up for weather updates on your phone. I think that's the biggest thing right there.
They let you know right away.
Yeah, especially if a tornado's coming.
Yeah.
And then during the storm, have your family know where to go. If there's a tornado coming, where can you go? What do you remove? Like say from the stove we talked about. Don't go near any kind of power lines as you're going outside, especially when the wind's blowing. You never know when it's going to knock a tree down.
Yep.
On top of where you're kind of going to.
Yep, that's right. Hey, can you hang on a minute? We'll pay some bills and be back with Dan the Man Hitchcock from Intercounty Energy. It is 9:21.5. You're getting it on WHBN AM and FM and HometownLive.net.
Looking for worry-free lawn care? Well, at Homescapes LLC, we offer licensed and insured professional grass mowing services. This isn't just a hobby, it's what we do. Enjoy competitive prices on total lawn and landscaping care. We probably do your neighbor's yard. Want a free estimate? Call Homescapes LLC today at 859-613-9161. That's 859-613-9161. Homescapes LLC. Timely, reliable, and affordable.
DQ presents how to get more for your morning. It all starts with ordering the DQ $4 breakfast. Your choice of 3 breakfast favorites with crispy hash browns and a drink for only $4. Enjoy our signature biscuit and gravy, hot and flaky sausage biscuit sandwich, or savory chicken and gravy burrito. Each paired with a side of hash browns and a coffee or soda. For breakfast that's fast, filling, and just $4. Head to DQ. DQ, happy tastes good. At participating locations.
Ready for a fast, safe, and easy way to send your share of the rent money? Put your feet up, because with Zelle, you can send your monthly amount from the comfort of your couch. Zelle is conveniently found in your Farmers National Bank online or mobile banking account, and it's available now. Ask a Farmers National Bank representative for more information. Available to United States bank account holders only. Terms and conditions apply. Farmers National Bank. Member FDIC.
CC Auto Parts and Service is the difference. We get it. No appointment necessary. Fast, friendly auto service every time. We'll have you in and out, hassle-free. Brakes, engines, and service of every kind. With free pickup and free delivery. CC Auto Parts and Service is the difference. We get it.
It is 9:24. You're getting it on WHBN AM and FM, hometownlive.net. You're getting the tones of one Dan the Man Hitchcock from Intercounty Energy. We're just talking about storm preparedness. Now, Dan, let's talk about if people don't have basements in their homes and we get a severe thunderstorm warning or, God forbid, a tornado warning, where do they go? What should they do?
That is one of those pre-storm preparation communication plans. You know, if you've got neighbors, ask them if you can go into where, if they've got basements, or find you a low-lying area, they say, especially if you're driving. Find you a culvert that you can get into.
Yeah.
Find something heavy that you can, but just kind of do that scenarios, do the different scenarios, especially if you have a large family with kids, with pets. That's a big thing, is just kind of keep them safe too, but go over that thing. It's the same thing like with a fire. If you got a second-story house and you got a fire, how do you get out? Do you have a ladder somewhere? Just stuff like that right there.
You got to stop and think and be ready to go. If the kids are home by themselves, if the parents aren't home yet, and you've got a neighbor you know and can trust, maybe they can slide over there and do this again. You could do this ahead so that people know, hey, we're safe. The kids are safe. They're over here with us. If you don't have a basement, go to an interior room that does not have any windows.
Yeah, that would be good. They and probably still do go into a bathroom, and just get into the tub. Especially a lot don't have storm shelters, so you're right. That's kind of where they tell you to go to the interior. That way, you can't get hit by flying glass or debris. Because if you pay attention to some of the, like on the weather channels and stuff like that, some of those 2x4s can go through walls like it's nothing. So you just kind of want to be in that interior room of a house.
If you're in a mobile home or trailer, don't try to ride it out. If it's bad, get out and get somewhere. And there's usually somewhere downtown, the courthouse, some places like that you can go. Or, like I said, if you've got friends that do have a basement, if you can get there quickly, safely, you can do that.
Do that.
And then, of course, the warnings will come out and just wait and ride it out. And hopefully we don't get into that situation, but it's better be prepared and then
better be safe.
Yeah, than sorry with stuff. Have some extra water. Like you said, the batteries or crank radios. Have a radio so you can know when things have passed through. Get on those warning systems. They do have those available. And I guess to wrap this up, Dan, what do we talk about the post like afterwards? What are some things? I guess you need to really sit and talk as a family. How did we do? What could we do better? There's things that it's good to talk afterwards.
One thing about it is you're right, is that kind of that post storm. But think about food that if the power was out for 2 or 4 hours or whatever it may be, then you may have to discard that food, especially if it's in somewhere where it wasn't really refrigerated good. Mm-hmm. Medication, don't forget about your pets too. Pets, food, stuff like that. Even kids. But I think the biggest thing is just meet afterwards and say, hey, what can we do differently? What can we plan for it later? And that way, when it happens again, and it's inevitable that it may be a while, but it's a good thing to go over that plan with you annually too. Don't wait until right before the storm.
And you could practice this at home with your family. Say, okay, we got a tornado warning. Let's go. and you go into the bathroom, go into the basement, wherever is the safest place in your home, go ahead and just go ahead and do that. So it's not such a panic, because when things hit, people do, you start thinking about everything going on, and it's hard to remember common sense sometimes when you're in a stressful situation. But at least if you've practiced a little bit, okay, here's what we need to do, here's where we need to go. Just like you said with the fire, if there's a fire breaks out, we're going to meet somewhere. Where are we going to meet? Everybody, we're going to check to make sure everybody is out. Let's meet somewhere, neighbor's house or somewhere. Again, it's all called preparedness.
Yeah, schools practice the same thing. They practice fire drills. They practice tornado drills. Families should not be the same. They should be the same thing and follow the same stuff, because our kids have already done it. Yes, we may have done it when we were smaller, but it doesn't. Everybody needs to kind of come together. So if you experience outage this summer, follow us on Facebook, Intercounty Energy, on Facebook, on Instagram for all outage updates, and you can call our outage number 1-888-266-7322. That's 1-888-266-7322 if you have a power outage.
What's the first thing they should do if the power goes out? Should they check with the neighbors? Should they look around? You can see if power's out in the neighborhood. Now, not necessarily is that true, because even your neighbor across the street could be on a different grid than you are. Yep. So don't necessarily assume.
Just try checking your main breaker first. And then if everything doesn't come back on, then kind of look around the neighborhood. And then once you kind of determine that, then call it. More than likely, we will already know when our members are out, just by the new technology that we have since 2009.
Oh, good.
So it'll automatically send us an indicator that the power is out, especially with those meters.
Dan the Man Hitchcock, thank you so much. We always look forward to talking to you, and might get with you again as storms hit us again.
Well, if I do, you know where I'm at. I'll be right back out.
Very good. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
It is 9:29.5. It's time for news, and I'll make it 9:30.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Numerous Kentuckians participated in No Kings protests across the Commonwealth. There were over 3,200 protests across the globe, with thousands gathering in Lexington, Louisville, and more points across the state. Protesters spoke out against the war with Iran, immigration's tactics, and calling to defund the agency and releasing the entire unredacted Epstein files. The 50-51 movement said that over 8 million Americans protested. That's about 1 out of every 50 using their voice. Meantime, a federal judge has dismissed all charges against 2 former Louisville Metro Police officers in the Breonna Taylor case.
Senior Judge Charles Simpson issued an order on Friday dismissing the charges with prejudice against Joshua James and Kyle Meany. The 2 were accused of using false information to obtain the warrant that led to Taylor's death in 2020. The move comes after the U.S. Department of Justice requested the dismissal earlier this month, citing the interest of justice. I'm Travis Laird.
Kentucky State Police confirming the body found Tuesday underneath a Grayson Bridge was a missing Carter County woman. Around 10 o'clock Saturday morning, KSP reported to State Route 7 for a female body near Gibbs Hardware Store. She was identified as 50-year-old Tessa Reeves, who was reported missing late last month. She was last seen on Valentine's Day at Bezos Bar on South Horde Street without identification or a cell phone on her. Her cause of death is still under investigation. And a missing Covington woman was found Saturday evening near a park. Around 7 o'clock, Covington police responded to reports of a body found near Duval Park on Crescent Avenue. They found the body badly decomposed in a wooded area. She's been identified as 65-year-old Carol Groves and last seen near Christmas time. Her cause of death is still under investigation. I'm Lee Mowen.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-340-5510. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-340-5510. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-340-5510.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Health Center may not be available in all states.
All right, now, Robert, go ahead.
The WHBN weather forecast is brought to you by Big Deals Online Store. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big discounts. Save 20 to 30 to 50% every day at hometownlive.net.
This weather forecast has been approved by Christy Welch. Mostly sunny today, high of 74, wind gust to 31. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 62, wind gust to 21. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high of 81, wind gust to 29. Chance of showers between 2 and 5 Tuesday night, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 5 a.m., partly cloudy, low of 64, wind gust to 23. Chance of showers and thunderstorms early on Wednesday, then showers and a possible thunderstorm after 8. High of 78. Right now under cloudy skies, we have 61 degrees in Harrodsburg at 9:34. The aforementioned Christy Welch is joining me this morning. Good morning, Christy. How are you?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Sir, who came in? It's just me.
I think we say this every Monday. Right?
I know it. I know it. I know. I keep looking around for a sir, and it's just me.
Yeah, that's our little Monday morning routine.
Yes, that's right. Well, how is your house going? You've just built a house, and give us an update on where you're at.
Yeah, don't build a house, just buy a house.
buy one from Welch Homes, right?
Yes. Listen, I had always said, I had wanted to build. And so my husband was like, no, you don't. He had previously done that. And I said, but I do. And now I understand I don't.
Why he didn't.
Dealing with contractors. So we've been in our home now a little over a month. It was a month on the 22nd. And we have the cabinet people here finishing up trim and doing those types of things. So all of the dust and sawdust that I've previously cleaned, I will now be re-cleaning.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. Yeah, no, I mean, and the thing is, when you buy a home, nothing ever checks every box. So you kind of think, oh, well, I'll build one. Well, we've been in this house now, like I said, a little over a month, and there's already things that we are like, oh, well, this doesn't work quite like we thought. Like, we wish we did done this a little different, or this wall was shifted a little more here because we didn't need this much space here, but need the more space here. So every home is going to have its, pros and cons for sure, whether you build it yourself or not. But I'll tell you, building is one headache.
Yeah.
It really is. Now, we need homes. We need builders, and I'm thankful for them. And these guys that, do one house right after another house after another house. I mean, I think probably their subcontractors are a little different, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's a process for sure. And buying a home, and honestly, we probably could have bought more home for what we have built, because building's so expensive.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of little things that add up, Christy, too, because I've been through that before with building. And, afterwards you look and see, man, I wish I had known about this and that. I talked to a local builder, and I asked the opinion of what he thought. He said, Rick, build it age friendly. As we all age and get older, think of these little things like my wife had a attic stairs that you pulled down and walked up, like a straight up like a fire ladder, and that was not safe. You got to be really careful, and then carrying stuff up and down. So we had I wanted stairs built up going in the attic, so that's what we did to make it safer, rather than have that little pull down, which again you can't step in the middle of those things because there's no support. You got to step on the sides. And if you're carrying something, you're grabbing the handle, walking down with one hand, and you're trying to carry a tote or something in the other, that can be very dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the older that we get, we obviously need to pay attention to things of, one level and easy to access, Christmas trees and storage and all of that kind of stuff for sure. Some of these attic accesses are well, honestly, the house that Josh had built previously, literally he had not put in attic steps, like pull down steps. So
Uh-huh.
we used this ladder to get up in the attic. And like you said, boxes up and down, whatever.
Yeah.
And listen, a little secret about Christy. I don't like ladders and I don't like heights.
Me neither.
I'm not fine on a roller coaster, but I don't know, something about a ladder and heights. I don't know. Yeah. So getting stuff up and down out of that attic. Well, before we sold that property, guess what he did? He put, you put the stairs in and you do the things that you need to do.
Yeah. Well, and we took a little room off of the laundry room, but you know what? To me, it's safer on me because I'm the one carrying stuff up and down the steps.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't you do that, Rick.
No.
What will we do on Monday mornings and every morning?
My position be easily filled. So you'll have somebody else in here.
Oh, no. But no, I'll tell you, one of the questions that we get so much in this business is about compensation. So if you don't care, Rick, I think that would be kind of a good topic unless you had another one this morning.
No, that's good. What's on your mind and what people are asking. Obviously, then, if you have one or two, that's what we ask businesses. Like when people check out, they're the last line of communication with people. What do you hear? What questions do the cashiers have that people say, I didn't know you carried this. I didn't know you did this. And that's great information because there's probably more people out there that don't ask that we're wondering.
Right, exactly. I mean, you just don't know. You've got to listen to the people that see the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But yeah, everybody always asks us, they don't understand compensation and how it works because, things changed here a couple years ago. Used to be I would come to your home and we would list things for 6% and tell you that we were splitting that compensation with whoever brought the buyers, right? That buyer's agent. So basically it would be 3 and 3. Well, that changed, and so, but it kind of did and it kind of didn't, Rick, to be honest. So when I come list your home now, I tell you my compensation is 3%.
Okay.
So, and listen, there's a lot of people out there that like to negotiate that with me, and let me tell you something. If I don't negotiate my own paycheck well, how am I supposed to negotiate for you well? So don't try to negotiate my 3%.
No, just think back because that was the standard, was a 6% cut.
6%. Yes, it was. It was. And, our job honestly has gotten harder in the last little bit than it with paperwork and documents and all the things and that we have to know. And the legalities of things have gotten honestly harder in the last couple of years. But so then when someone brings you an offer, if that buyer's agent brings you an offer, then you can also negotiate that compensation on that side. Obviously, the standard is 3%, and they're going to negotiate. But also, you can say that you're not going to pay a buyer's agent. Now, I don't think that's real smart because then you narrow your pool to a lot of people that cannot pay their own buyer's agent. You have a lot of first-time home buyers or just people that even if they're selling and they're moving into the next home that's a little more expensive, there's closing costs and those types of things. So they can't necessarily pay their buyer's agent. But Rick, let me ask you this question. Who actually pays the agents?
Who pays the agents? That should come from the sellers.
Well,
or buyers?
It's the way you look at it, honestly. And I think that's the thing that's not said as well as it should be. So the sellers obviously list their property for $200,000 and, 6% of that. What is that? $12,000. Is that right? 336. Yeah, $12,000. And so that comes off of the seller's proceeds, correct?
Okay.
Correct. So everybody says the sellers pay for the agents. Well, it comes off the top. But who actually pays the loan for that money? The buyers.
Right.
So it's kind of on both parties if you look at it that way. And I think people don't look at it like that. Yes, it comes off the top of what you negotiate, but it comes from both sides in a sense. So I think that just needs to be explained really well so that your buyers understand that, this amount of money is rolled into your loan is $200,000, and so everything comes out of that, but your loan is still $200,000. So and the sellers aren't quite getting $200,000. But with that being said, this might have been a $150,000 house, and we sold it, and had you pick it up and clean it up and declutter it and paint it and shine it up and make it look good, and here we are at 200. So,
yeah.
We do our job well, but. And, just getting it out there and all the marketing and those kind of things that we have to do. It's not always a cheap process. We pay for extra signage and things like that as well. So, but yeah, there's just always questions about who pays, who actually pays. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit this morning, that it is considered compensation and it is negotiable. However, you gotta think. When you go to your boss and ask for a raise, you don't usually they say yes or no.
Right.
So, but anyway, Rick, I just kind of thought that might be a subject that we could hit on pretty quick this morning, and maybe that would help people understand things a little bit better. So, and then a lot of questions come from the closing table too. What to expect at Welch Homes. We literally hold your hand from day one of what do I do? I'd like to buy a home, to sitting at the closing table and signing over the deed or receiving the deed. And a lot of people don't understand, like, arm's length transaction. That gets thrown out there and they're like, what in the world does that even mean? And I'm like, well, that you could sit across from each other and you could reach each other by arm's length, that you're transacting this with the deed in the middle of you all and you're signing it back and forth. It's just an old term for how it went down. So, there's a lot of things you look up on PVA and you'll see, a family situation and it'll say relationship or that kind of thing. But arm's length just means you didn't know each other. You weren't family, but you decided to sell property and you sat across the table from each other and you could shake hands basically and sign a deed. So, just little things like that people get really confused about and like, what does this mean? So, and we don't think anything of it because we hear it all the time. Kind of like if you go into, a job and you hear all the abbreviations being thrown around, it sounds like a different language, I guess. We get used to it,
Yeah.
So, but fun stuff, all this stuff. But closing is where the magic really happens. That's the fun day, but it's also kind of bittersweet because that's the day you no longer need me for a while, unless you decide to buy or sell again later on down the road. So we've spent, time together, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, a year, looking for the right property or that kind of thing, selling properties. Some people we work with that they sell a portfolio of several different properties. So, and then closing day, when we're done, we're done. You move on with life, and I move on to the next client until you call me again. So, but we're always here. Prorated taxes are another one that it trips everybody up. Everybody doesn't understand that. So, sellers pay you prorated taxes through the date that you close. So, if you were closing today, the sellers would have paid taxes through March 30th. And then when the tax bill comes out in October, guess who's responsible? The buyers, because the sellers have already paid you. So, but yeah, just little things like that people always are asking, and what's up?
Do you get
what questions?
Do you get where people like counter offer? Tell us about that. How does that work? When here's the price they're asking, and then you come back and they go through you for a counter offer, and then you contact the sellers. Tell us that process, how that works.
Yes, absolutely. So everything is written up. So everything's in writing so that we have that proof, right? So basically, if we're selling your home, we put it out there, we've got a showing, we have somebody sending us an offer. I let you know that the agent says that they're sending an offer. However, sometimes that is said and it doesn't really happen. So I try to weigh how serious it sounds like they are, just because, I don't want to get people's hopes up and then it doesn't happen. But that's an exciting time, but it also can be a very heartbreaking time. But the offer comes in, and say they offered you were at 200 and they offered you 175. Well, we go through all the terms, and we have to look at everything. Did they ask for closing costs? How much was the earnest money deposit? How much time frame did they ask for due diligence? What was the time frame that they asked for closing? What did they ask for? Are they asking for, everything but the kitchen sink? And always the kitchen sink goes with the house, but are they asking for the lawnmower and the weed eater and the pool table and the couches and this and that with this 175? So you have to look at everything and take everything into consideration. So then I will send you the paperwork, and we will go through it. And if you want to meet and sit down, we can do it electronically, either way. And we go through it line by line, talk about each thing, and then I give them time to kind of talk, and then we get back together, and a lot of times they'll ask for recommendations, that type of thing, and we'll go through it. And then most of the time, we will counteroffer. I always tell everybody, a fish on the line is a fish on the line, and you want to try to reel it in. Now, it may be a tiny fish, and we got a tiny offer, but maybe they're just trying to fill it out. And some people are just that way. They feel like that they go to Walmart. They're the people that go to Walmart and try to negotiate with the Walmart employee at the checkout, right, Rick?
Yeah.
So there's sometimes that's just the way they are, and they, it doesn't mean that they're trying to be offensive. It's just they want to feel like they got a good deal, so they want to start low. So it doesn't always mean they're being mean. So we just keep negotiating back and forth until hopefully we come to a conclusion of a deal, and then we work towards that. And a lot of people get contingencies and kick-out clauses and their escalation clauses. There's so many options and so many things that it is very, very important, buyers and sellers, to have an agent that has a lot of experience. And that's the thing. Like, every real estate deal is completely different. And sometimes we can make all the Facebook videos and do all the Instagram things and look really fancy and really pretty out there. But we don't know all the, dot the I's, cross the T's, things that need to happen behind the scenes. And so that's why I love what we do at Welch Homes, because yesterday I was unpacking boxes still, and I wasn't just right on top of my phone yesterday afternoon. And one of our agents had a question, put it in our group chat. I go back, and everybody had chimed in. They were all answering and answered correctly. And it's just really exciting to see how we work together as a team and as a family. It really is, to take care of our clients. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So, but yeah, it's kind of crazy out there, Rick. It's gotten crazy in the last couple of weeks. The weather, like you said, it was going to get warm, and it has.
Yep.
And people are ready to buy. School's about to get out, so it's time to move.
Well, I've had people ask me, Christine, you tell me if this is good advice or not. And when they go out, look at homes you cannot afford, homes that you would not live in, to give you a better idea of what you're getting value-wise for your money.
Okay, so go look at homes. That's again, Rick. Go look at homes.
Home that is out of your price range, but go look at homes maybe that that you would not live maybe in or buy that type of house or in that neighborhood, to give you more of a real value of what worth of a property is worth and what you're getting for your money.
I mean, yeah, I could see that strategy, I guess. And go, it just is, go look at a higher priced house and see what you're getting, that kind
for
of
the
thing.
money.
I can see that strategy. Yeah, I absolutely can see that strategy. Yeah, I mean, there's so many homes out there. And I'll tell you, Rick, it is really hard to do home comparisons in the market where we are fluctuating. Prices are stable right now. It's more stable than they have been. But the last couple of years, I mean, it has been wild. For instance, we had a house that just came on the market. We saw it, came on the market, and all of us were kind of shocked at the price that it was on the market for. And within like 48 hours, it had an all cash offer ready to go, So, I mean, there's just no rhyme or reason sometimes, because we have so many people moving from out of state. So, yeah, and this is the thing. We can't talk about neighborhoods. People always ask us, is this a nice neighborhood? Well, there's federal law that prevents us from saying, no, this is a crappy neighborhood.
Yeah,
Or that's a really
right.
great neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we tell people, do your own homework, do your own research. There's so many avenues out there that you can research, neighborhoods and schools and those types of things, and go visit. Go visit. The schools will let you come in and take a gander and take a visit, that kind of thing. So go visit.
Hey,
But
we
yeah,
need.
Rick,
Go ahead.
pay the bills.
Yeah, we got to stop paying the bills here. So we need to visit that, and we'll come right back. All right.
Okay.
All right, we got Christy Welch from Welch Homes back right after these.
I'm tired of working on my old, worn-out farm equipment.
Hey, have you been over to County Equipment yet?
No, where's that at?
They're the guys over at Exit 48 off the Bluegrass Parkway.
Well, I can't afford to buy new equipment.
They got the biggest selection of used equipment I've seen anywhere.
Stop by County Equipment and check out their large selection of no-till seed drill, hay equipment, manure spreaders, and three-point attachment. Give them a call at 502-839-7373. CountyEquipment.com.
Danville's deal maker, Bob Allen.
Together, let's drive at Bob Allen Chevrolet. With Chevy Lease Loyalty, lease a new 26 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 for only $209 per month for 24 months. $53.49 plus first payment, taxes and fees due at signing. 10,000 lease miles per year. VIN 162008. Bob Allen Chevrolet, located on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com.
Farmers, Paris Stockyard is making it easier than ever to buy and sell cattle. Paris Stockyard opens its gates to every farmer, every herd, every operation. Paris Stockyard now hosts 2 weekly sales, Mondays at 9 a.m. and Thursdays at 9 a.m., located on US 68 just outside of Paris, Kentucky. They are proud to be farmers doing business with farmers. Support 2 weekly sales at Paris Stockyard every Monday and Thursday at 9 a.m. For full details, visit Facebook and search Paris Stockyard.
At Subtle's Tree Care, we salute the beauty of the great outdoors. And for those times when the great outdoors isn't so beautiful, you don't have to worry. At Subtle's Tree Care, we do it all. We help protect your trees from damage in high winds and storms, even tree and stump removal, land clearing, brush trimming. Let Subtle's Tree Care take a look at your property. If there's a tree that could be a problem, we'll let you know and take care of it before the problem happens. At Subtle's Tree Care, you get the best for less. Affordable, expert tree and brush trimming. Cabling to reduce stress damage on your tree from high winds, weight from ice and snow, and heavy foliage. At Subtle's Tree Care, we're your neighbors. We live here. We're a licensed, insured, locally owned business. A family that's been taking care of your land for over 30 years. The great outdoors. It's beautiful. At Subtle's Tree Care, we can help you keep it that way. Visit SubtlesTreeCare.com and let's take care of your trees and property before there's a problem. Subtle's Tree Care. Get the best for less.
Tired of the typical dental dread? Step into Dr. Jennifer Nichols' office on North College Street, where every smile starts with comfort and care. Our friendly atmosphere and professional staff ensure you feel at ease from the moment you walk in. Experience a blend of gentleness and expertise that promises the best dental care for your family. Ready to transform your dental experience? Call us for an appointment at 734-5111. With Dr. Nichols, see just how different a dental visit can be.
Is your car in need of a shine? Keep it sparkling all month long with Safari Falls Car Wash. Visit our new location in Danville off the 127 bypass on Skywatch Drive from 7:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and on Sundays from 9 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. Packages start at just $22 per month. That's less than $1 a day. For $22 a month, you will enjoy unlimited washes and keep your car looking brand new all month long.
Whether you have one car or a whole fleet, we've got a plan for you.
It is 9:56 and a half. You're getting on WHBN AM and FM, hometownlive.net. My guest is Christy Welch of Welch Homes. Christy, you got a couple of houses to spotlight for us?
Oh, sure thing. Yeah, I was just actually looking at a different house for a different client while we were on the break. It's just that quick. We actually have several houses that are listed for sale, some of which are well below market value, and I'll touch on this one on Oakland Lane. This one is a great home. It's on the market for $159,000. It does need a little love. The basement and the the house itself is cosmetically just not where it needs to be. But for $159,000, Rick, you get just right at 2 acres with an outside storage like building, and then a storage shed. So it's got a little creek that runs along the property. It's really a neat little property. So for $159,000, you're getting a really decent little house. And, you know, with some sweat equity in there and some love, you could be right in that thing for under $200,000, and there you go. We have another one that's listed on Ada Drive that's at $235,000. It also has a basement with it. It's a nice property. 3 bedrooms, 1 full bath, almost 2,500 square feet in this house. So nice property listed at $235,000. And then we have the East Lexington Street. I'm really shocked this one hasn't been scooped up. So it's listed at $299,900. It's 4,900 square feet. This home, it also needs some love. It's got some roof leaks going on that started about 6 months ago. It has a metal roof on it, Rick, which is really odd because they don't usually leak. But so it started about 6 months ago, the lady said, and they're not hiding it. You can see it. They've pulled out, you can see right there where it's leaking. But this home, the really cool thing, it actually had 6 apartments in it at one time. Wow. Now, they've taken that back down, but it'd be real easy to make it into 4 pretty quickly. So great investment property, great bed and breakfast, something like that. So right across from the old Harrodsburg High School, right there on the corner, big red brick, beautiful stately home. So, and then we've got a lake house listed at $369,700, so almost that $350 mark. At 370 Persimmon Way, and that's in that Glade neighborhood with the community pool, the community dock, all the things. So great views of Harrington Lake. That's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a split floor plan, so that means the primary bedroom's on one side and the other bedrooms are in the front of the house. So the master and the primary and the kids' bedrooms aren't side by side, but that's almost 1,700 square feet there, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths on Harrington Lake. We have a beautiful listing under $400,000 in Rolling Hills, and you don't see that a lot in Rolling Hills. Harvest Lane, it's also got a full basement, almost 3,000 square feet. So that's a beautiful house right there. And then we've got some lots for sale. People wanting to build lots in Lawrenceburg and lots in Harrodsburg, Mallard Cove in that gated community. We have a 2.5 acre lot listed for $65,000, so that one should go. And then we've got another little property in Lawrenceburg on Gleensboro Road for $179,900. So 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, right around 1,300 square feet. So we've just got all kinds of property, Rick, that's ready to go. We've got one on Airport Road in Danville with a couple acres there, and then we've got the one still in Lawrenceburg. That one's priced under $900,000 now on the golf course, and got 8.25 acres. It's not an HOA, so you can build other homes, put shops up, put business in. I mean, whatever you wanted to do, put a business garage in there. You could do all kinds of stuff with that property right there at the golf course in Lawrenceburg. So,
Christy, how do they find out more of what you've got online and houses and what's available?
Yeah, I could keep going. We've got several more, Rick. That's the crazy thing. WelchHomes.com. That's WelchHomes.com. Or give us a call at 859-605-2333.
Christy, we always look forward to talking to you. Do it again next Monday.
Sounds great, Rick.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, sir.
Christy Welch, I see that my time is up. Thank you very much for your time. God bless the troops. God bless America. God bless you. God bless those hurting and suffering. God bless Ukraine, Israel, and all those affected by this war. It is the 3-letter word. It is a war. Hopefully this ends soon. May the most you want be the least you get. This is Radio Rick. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning at 6. Hope you can join me then. Ashley Blake is in the air chair up next. Get out and enjoy the day that the Lord has given us right here on WHBN Harrodsburg, The Rooster, your community voice since 1955. Your time is 10:02.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen.